quickly here, I am just going to walk you guys through a few basic functions of your LitComp journal. So a couple features that you're going to be using regularly and you're going to need to perfect or master, if you will. So what you see on the screen right now is just like a sample of what your journal will look like initially when you guys have them set up. And on a basic day, you're going to have like a slide deck that you're working through with our class. And eventually you will come across slides that look like this. And they ask you to complete a journal entry. Or sometimes in our Google Classroom assignment, we'll ask you to create a journal entry. And that is exactly what goes into your slide deck. So one of the first things you're going to want to know how to do is how to copy and paste a journal slide from Flesher or I's slide decks and put them into your journal so you can actually complete your journal entry. So if I'm going through the slides, blah, 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 lots of pictures, eventually I'll come across the journal entry slide. And there's a couple of ways you can do this. There's a couple of ways you can copy and paste. I always do like the 2-finger click, or if you're using a mouse, the right click, and it brings up this set of options. You'll just click copy. Then you'll go over to your journal, which you hopefully have open in another slide. You'll select wherever you want to copy it and you will click paste. And ta-da! The other thing you're going to want to know how to do occasionally is how to create a journal entry on your own. So maybe we just say, hey, go do a journal entry on this, but we haven't given you a slide for that. You'll have in your journals this kind of blank template slide. Again, the 2-finger click, and you can either copy and paste, or you have the option to duplicate the slide, which is what I will do. And then you can drag it wherever you want in your slide order, and you can put your entry on the slide. Something that's going to be important for you guys to keep in mind as you organize your journal is you want the most recent entries to be at the top of your slide deck. So if I did this entry, let's say I did it yesterday, I'm going to want to make sure that I type in the date. So September 1st, let's say that was yesterday's entry that I typed in. And then maybe I was assigned a new journal entry today in my date box. I'm going to put September. Wow, that does not appear. And then I'll want to make sure that the September 2nd slide comes on top of the September 1st slide in my slide order over here. Occasionally, Flesher and I are going to want to like read one of your journal entries, or maybe you get really excited and you're like, I want Hinderly to read this. I had brilliant thoughts here or whatever. And we have a color code to let us know which slide you want us to look at. So we don't have to like scroll through 1 million slides. You'll change the color of that slide, and that's how we'll know that it's the one that you want us to look at. So we've chosen a nice bright yellow so that I can't miss it when I'm trying to look for your slide entry and I'm like so tired. Another color code that's important for you to know is if you really want to keep an entry private. So you've responded to a prompt and it got a little deeper than you were expecting, and you're like, oh, I don't really want like anybody else to look at this. So I just want them to kind of skip over this one. You can change your slide color to gray, and that's how Flesher and I will know that we're not going to look at that or read it in depth. So to change your slide color, so let's say I have this fabulous entry here. Yes, very long and beautiful. And I want my teacher to read it. Again, I'm going to select the back of the slide and I'm going to go change background. It's going to give me a couple of options. I can choose an image or I can reset it. That's not what we want to do. I want to go to color. There's a drop-down menu here, and you're just going to pick the most vibrant yellow you can find and click done. And hypothetically, it should change the slide background. But it didn't. I'm going to 2-finger click and it's going to say change background. So I'm going to click that. I can insert an image, which is not what I want. I can reset it to its original formatting. Also not what I'm looking for. I'm looking for color here. And I know that this bright yellow here is what is going to get my teacher's attention. So I'm going to change my slide background color and click done. So now when Flesher or I are flipping through all of your slides, we're going to go, oh, look, the yellow one. This is the one they want to read. And we'll be able to add our comments, give you feedback, etc. You'll notice I have an entry here. It's just kind of an example entry. Really what we want you to focus on is not length. I don't want you to get hung up on how long your entries should be or how much you should say. This is a good example of quality over quantity. We're really the depth of your ideas and not the amount that you're able to put out. More doesn't always mean that your thinking is better, right? So think about wrestling with what the question is and answering it thoroughly and honestly. All right? And this video is over. Oh my gosh, you guys, this makes me so nervous, but I'm so happy to see you all, or see you all.